That's not very convincing. Give her a fist bump. You agree?
I mean, it is. Like, now you can see everything. Now everything goes viral. Now, like...
So anyways, what makes America great? Your opinion, sir.
The partial freedoms.
Partial freedoms.
Partial freedom.
I like that.
Okay.
You want to elaborate any?
It's freedom for. There's an economic problem, but we all kind of know that in America.
We are currently in Leland, North Carolina.
Where are you from?
I was born in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Okay, so you're not far from Myrtle Beach. We're about 100 miles.
Approximately
A little bit more.
70.
Oh, it's about 70, not down to 70. So what makes America great? 2 o'clock in the morning here outside the Waffle House in Leland.
The implied freedoms and liberties. Liberty is what makes America great.
Okay.
The safety and security afforded us by the bloodshed on the shores of Normandy and the sacrifices that are made every day in Afghanistan and Iraq, and the brave diplomats that.
I've never heard that before. That's
Diplomacy
Yeah.
is what makes America great, and our influence in cultivating a global dialogue with the aims of peaceful trade and a tangible recognition of what is globally accepted moral
human rights kind of thing.
Human rights,
human dignity.
Dignity.
I like dignity better than rights, actually.
I do. Dignity and
So what would make America greater?
Well, sometimes I would want to start at the top from a political system, because they need to be more transparent in doing. There need to be, even in elections to a certain point, there's not so much money dumped in $1 million, $2 million.
Okay, so boil it down for me. What would make it greater? In your opinion, as a man from Pennsylvania, your age, down here in Newport. As we head into the 2020s pretty soon here.
America, what would make America greater? A more profitable America would make, more profitable individuals would make America greater, but without sacrificing happiness.
Quality of life?
Quality of life. You can be the richest man in the world.
Quality of life.
And lack quality of life. What is really important to the individual, and what is, John Locke said life, liberty, and the pursuit of property. And I think Thomas Jefferson was wise enough. Well, he was wise enough to omit one part of that. Property. He said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Right.
Because he was wise enough to understand that not all men.
We're going to be property owners.
Well, they didn't. Not necessarily. Not all men covet property as a means of happiness.
Not all cultures.
Not all cultures.
That was a European thing. The Native Americans had no understanding of that whatsoever. They couldn't comprehend.
Well, they were collectivists.
Yeah, couldn't understand. How do you own the wind? How do you own the land? How do you fence in the prairie? How do you stop the buffalo from running? So what would you do if you had an all-powerful magic wand for America? Now, this is your future. You're about 20 years younger than me, and you got kids, you said, and stuff, and maybe grandkids someday. And what would you do with a magic wand, all powerful, just for America?
Just for America.
Just take care of the house.
It's hard for me to think as a 35-year-old in just America. I think today, where I differ from many of my peers is, there's the whole concept of what's great for America. The world's shrank so much. So I want to say what's great for the world. I would want the safety and security that we are afforded today for the world. A happier neighbor and a more peaceful neighbor. If I could spread that concept, that
Okay,
what I have.
I'm with you on that. I'm not told,
That's why
but I've
the
never
whole
heard it
world-
expressed that way.
The whole world wants to come here. And
We want security.
Well, beyond that, the whole world has been coming here for the last 50 to 100 years,
Well, hundreds.
seeking the security afforded by that spirit, that national pride, that spirit of peace and
Like family pride, kind of.
Exactly. Well, that spirit of peace and that spirit of the spirit de corpse. That wonderful, safe, profitable feeling of free enterprise and free trade and opportunity, free of tyrannical despots.
Yeah, I've heard that. We don't have a dictator. Somebody said. It was one of my early interviews. Somebody says we don't have a dictator.
So that's a wonderful thing, and I want that for the world, because if I have that for the world and I can continue to spread those ideas,
So what's the first step?
Well, we've already began that process. You see, let's look at what we defined as communist China, Mao Zedong, and look at the progress that Xi Jinping has made in stimulating which isn't necessarily so. He's not American, but and look at the fall of the Soviet Union. Now you have
I grew up with that.
You have a
Berlin Wall
federalist
came down.
society, for better or for worse.
Somebody said we had an oligarchy. Would you agree with that? I think you actually used that word.
The pharmatopian oligarchy.
Pharmatopian? Define that quickly.
Pharmatopia is an imaginary word. It's P-H-A-R-M-A, pharma.
Oh, okay.
As in pharmaceutical.
Okay. That's the matrix I talk about. We're living in this artificial construct of happiness.
A pharmaceutically synthesized happiness, some can say that. The cure of mental disease, where we no longer have the threat of people going crazy. Is that freedom?
Would you say you think what's your opinion though? Just
given
meaner or less mean?
People don't reach out in a Waffle
House and talk
much.
to some guy that's in an army jacket and whatever.
Exactly.
Sometimes I would want to start at the top from a political system, because they need to be more transparent in doing. There need to be, even in elections to a certain point, there's not so much money dumped in $1 million, $2 million, what's going on.
Okay, so boil it down for me. What would make it great?
Like unity, man. Like, just everybody stop feeling like they got to fill their own plate, you know what I'm saying, and just spread the wealth, you know what I'm saying, instead of just everybody looking out.
People got money, it's just spread it in the wrong way.
Money spread it the wrong way. I like that. Distribute the wealth.
Yeah, everybody be good then.
What I owe you, hon?
Be less killing.
Be less killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like what I told you earlier about the tax thing. That's really been like weighing heavy on my mind lately.
Where our tax dollars go.
So I just feel like if our government wasn't so secretive and like we just had access to a little bit more information, which will never happen, but I feel like that would probably make America great again.
Did you get some information tonight? Magic wand, you can do anything you want for America. Nothing selfish. Obviously, not just for your community, your church, but for America, everybody, except for the 2%. They already have everything. So 98% us. That's what I call us, the 90%.
Well, there's hard words, but
What would you do? You're the king of the world.
Justice.
Okay.
Justice.
You enact justice. Old Testament justice.
Not so much so. That was the eye, but
Exactly.
And what about your brother?
My brother, I got faith in you. You're gonna turn it around. I love you too. You know what I'm saying? I see the potential in you, and you turn the thing around, man. You're doing everything right. And I salute that, man. Look.
I remember why we were there. We thought we could fix all this.
After everything they've done to us.
It's not that simple.
Yeah, I think it is that simple.
No, you don't understand.
What don't I understand?
Everything was fine until you...
What?
Say the. I remember. Say the thing. What is it?
Heavy influence.
Heavy influence.
It's the name of the group. Yeah, whether it's good, whether it's bad, as long as it changes your life, it's a heavy influence. Yeah, that's what music does.
It unites us.
Yes, music's universal language, like laughter.
Well, that clef is the whole thing about that.
And that's what I say. It's like, I don't even want your pound for respect before I even get that. It's nothing to do with that. It's just, it's the person I respect. And that's nothing to do with it.
I ain't trying to interfere, but I don't know you guys that much, but it's a real motherfucker right there. Dude.
Bobby, I thank you. We'll see you again.
Oh, she already know. I'm dead serious.
All right, so what makes America great? Young lady, here.
The people.
I've got that many times.
The people.
I've got that many times. Miss Dee Dee.
Like we do.
You be Dee Dee too.
We do.
See, that's why his face, because you're like smiling and stuff.
I'm a D2.
D2. I'm a D1. DPE.
I'm a DDH.
DDH?
Yeah, sounds like some kind of disease. Yeah.
So what would make America greater? 2019, for God's sake, right?
Oh,
Less than a month, right?
We need our generation up in the White House.
The titties?
Yeah, we need better people.
What's the first step?
Finding some honesty in this place.
What's the first step to finding honesty?
Ask the people.
How do you ask the people?
You go to the little people. You go to the working people.
Like you?
Yeah, because
Like
we're
me?
little people.
Like me?
Yeah,
We're the
little
98%.
people. Yeah, we're down. We are very down.
Oh, you are good.
We are very down. All right.
So what would you do if you had a magic wand? Just for America. All powerful. A God-given power to do whatever you wanted.
God, can't we just all get along?
So that's what you do?
Yeah.
All right. See, we haven't fist bumped yet. Let's do it a couple times.
Can we just
One more. Why don't we just do a constant fist
get
bump?
along?
What's the first step to getting along?
Oh my God.
It's a thought. It's a thought.
I would think
It's a thought thing, you know?
you'd have to get people from everywhere to just talk to them.
So what is?
Find people like us.
What if somebody traveled like all across North Carolina and they did this and they interviewed 500 people?
If it all depends on what class you're gonna interview.
Every class.
I
The
think-
high class is hard to get to.
Yeah, I
to
think
be
the
honest with you.
majority of the little people would say, yeah,
Yeah, but we are the majority.
yeah, get along.
Get along. Stop
That's
fighting.
the first step.
How about stop fighting each other?
Yeah,
How about slow your roll?
no, you're right.
How about a smile is contagious?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that. How about a helping
How about
hand?
chill?
How about a helping hand?
I wish everybody would get each other and help each other, said David in Lowe's.
Like-
David in Lowe's, he got this cool bandana on. A little bit slow, kid. Best freaking worker there. Love that kid. Michael, not David. Michael.
Michael's good name.
Lowe's in Winston-Salem University place. That's the kind of people I've talked to.
And what are they? They all say the same thing.
No, not the same.
I mean, pretty much.
But it's very similar. Diversity,
That's good.
people.